Hello and welcome back into our 1 hour video series in which I'm gonna show you how to create a playable video game, this time using Unreal Engine 5 early access version. So, because I'm gonna be talking a lot during this 1 hour video, let's jump right into the project and create a game. Alright, so this time I'm using first person template instead of third person template like before. And the point of this video is to create something like a playable game within 60 minutes or 1 hour. And that's why I'm gonna be using this stopwatch. Let me start it right away. And let's just test our template. Right, so let's plan things a little bit before we proceed. Okay, we have a shooter, and I'm thinking about making a system that's gonna spawn targets around in a random way. And I'm also gonna add some basic but usable interface or heads-up display. And I think I'm also gonna make it so that targets last in different time frames. So for example, easier targets are gonna last longer, and the more mean or harder targets to hit are gonna last less and for shorter duration, and they're gonna be spawned around map. And yes, let's go. Let's first start by creating our target, and let's do it in content folder. Right click blueprint and let's choose actor BP target. Okay, and let's place that in the scene and open it so that I can edit that straight away. And I want to use something that looks like a plate, like a dinner plate. So I'm gonna be using cylinder as static mesh. Oh, it's too big. Okay, let's rotate it straight away in order to make something that looks like a plate. And let's set the Z value to 0.05. So in order to squash it, make it thinner. I know it's not the thinnest plate in the roll, but I guess it's fine for now. I can always come back and change that. And let's go into event graph and see what we are gonna do. Okay, we are gonna set things randomly, and in order to do that we need to implement random system. Let's create a variable which is gonna be called target difficulty, and let's change the data type to integer, compile and save. Okay, now we have this variable, but we need to define it. So we need to set the target difficulty, and on event begin play I want to set the value to something random. And I'm thinking about making this in 5-level difficulty. So we're gonna have 5 levels of difficulty for our targets, and we need to get random integer in range, and this is gonna be set from 1 to 5. So minimum is gonna be 1, maximum is gonna be 5. That's fine. Compile and save. And I'm gonna set target price, because I'm thinking once you hit the target we are gonna have point system. When you hit the least difficult target, this is gonna reward you with 10 points. If you hit the most difficult target, let's set it to 50. Yeah, 50. We're not gonna go into big numbers, or maybe we can set that to 100. Doesn't matter. Feel free to choose your own when you're creating your game, but let's make a variable. I can duplicate this, but change the label, and this is gonna be reward points. Okay, compile, save, and I need to set that. So this is gonna be set. I'm gonna multiply this by, like I said, you can multiply this by either 10 or 20 or whichever number that you want, but let's multiply by 20. So we're gonna have 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100 points as reward values for our targets. And okay, let's comment our blueprint. Determine reward points for target. Okay. And this one is gonna be, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna pull it down. And this one's gonna be determine target difficulty level. Always try to be as grammarly correct as possible and as clean as possible. It's gonna save you time later on and your colleagues, but let's proceed. Okay, so we are determining points, but we are not adding any points anywhere. We don't have the point system as of yet. And yeah, let's add the point system. And now we can use the first person templates, first person BP, or whatever it's called, first person character. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the name. So this is our character. Let's open it and change that. And let's implement point system, add variable, and let's add this to, actually, sorry, let's change the data type to integer, and let's change the label to points. Okay, and then we can leave that for now and go back to BP target. Okay, now we have the system, which is basically our bare target. And now we are gonna make it so that once we hit the target, BP underscore target, with our projectile, which is gonna be the yellow looking sphere, like a bullet that we are firing from our gun. So when that yellow sphere hits the BP underscore target, then we are gonna get rewarded some points. And let's implement that. So first of all, I have to add some targets around. I'm gonna add them manually for now, but later I'm gonna make them spawn in a random fashion. And I could also move this piece of code or graph to construction script. Why? Because I would be able to, because I would be able to see the preview, live preview, what target is gonna have how many points. Okay, this is gonna be created on construction script, and I need to use this variable like this. Okay, that's good for now. And I don't have the visual representation of my targets, of their difficulty level. So I want to change their color, and I'm gonna do that now. And I know that I'm skipping steps a little bit, but apologize. You'll be able to follow this all along. Let's create a material, m_target, but I will go back to anything and explain everything. So we are now inside material. Let's create some nodes, adding 3-vector constant, and I'm gonna convert this to parameter and call it color. I've already connected that with base color node, and I'm gonna also use, or no, I'm not gonna use emissive. I was thinking about using emissive node, but I can do that later on in order to make things more interesting, but for the time being, this is enough. Let me just save the material and go back into my target. Let's now create material, and I'm gonna be using dynamic material instance. Create dynamic material instance cylinder. Why? Because dynamic material instance will allow me to change its parameters during runtime. And I need to define which material. This is gonna be target. Okay, and I'm gonna promote this to variable. So the dynamic material instance that gets created, it's gonna be promoted to variable. Dynamic material instance ref. Let's call it like that. And I'm gonna be now set vector parameter value. And what parameter it's gonna be? It's gonna be color. Okay, so let me explain. On construction script, I'm creating dynamic material instance for this static mesh, which is our cylinder, and I'm promoting this to variable. And here's my getter of the variable, and I'll be able to set its parameters. And the parameter that I'm setting or changing is labeled as color. And here I can define color. And I want to have this random as well, just like the difficulty. Actually, it's gonna be based on the difficulty level. And let me promote this to variable and delete that. And I'm gonna change the variable type to array. Let's actually connect these things. Okay. And let's connect this as well. So I have this data type of linear color, and this is array. Let's call this target colors. Okay, and let's add some colors. So let's set this to 5. And the first index is 0, and the last index is 4. So we're going to be doing some math. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. But target difficulty, let's set the most difficult target level to be red. Let's set this to something like yellow. Let's set the middle difficulty to something bluish. Yeah, something like this should be enough. And let's set this to pink, so somewhat friendly, I would say. And somewhat friendly pink color, one of the friendliest colors. And but it's not as friendly as our friend green color. Okay, so we have green color, the most friendly or the least enemy-ish color, and then we have pink, blue for mid difficulty, orange and red as the most evil color in this case, although it's my favorite color, but hey, that's how they make it in games and cartoons. And let's get target colors, and based on target difficulty we are gonna get a color from array. But like I said, since we have index number 0 as the first index and the last index is number 4, but our difficulty level is in range from 1 to 5, so whatever number we get here, we have to subtract 1 from this. So let's set this to subtract and -1 like this, and let's connect that. Let's make some space like this and add comment. Determine target color based on its difficulty. Cool. Okay, so whatever number we get here, let's say that for example we get number 3, and that means that we should get the middle color, which is blue, but the index is 2, and that's why we're gonna be 3 minus 1 is gonna equal 2, so the index is gonna be 2, and there you go, blue color, and it's gonna be assigned to color parameter in our dynamic material instance. And if we get difficulty index 5 here, or integer 5, then we are gonna -1 from that, subtract 1, and we are gonna get index number 4 of color, which is gonna be red. So that's how we are setting the color. And we can leave this over here, and I might have to make changes, so moving something out of here to here, but I think this is fine for now. Anyway, if I'm gonna make it later, well, then I'm gonna make it later. All right, so we have our targets changing colors nicely. Let's add some more targets like that, like that. Okay. And now let's try our game. So it's bouncing off and nothing is happening. So first thing that we need to do is I gotta make it so that these targets, once hit by yellow sphere, they get destroyed. And then I also need to add second thing, which would be point system, and the third thing that I need to implement is heads up display or some user interface. And yeah, let's do just that. So first let's make it so that we are destroying our targets. Okay, so let's go to event graph, and now we can use this event actor begin overlap, or we can also use actor hit, event actor hit. No, actually it's gonna be easier if I do it over here, event on component hit. Okay, and I can delete this. On component hit, and that's gonna be cylinder. So once our cylinder is hit, I'm gonna check which actor is the one that hit it. Cast to projectile. So projectile is the actor, and let me show you why and how. So we have this input, spawn projectile, input action fire. So once you fire, it's gonna spawn the BP projectile. Let's see where it is. Okay, spawn actor first person projectile. So that's the name of our projectile actor. Yeah, just wanted to explain that. And if that's the actor that hit our cylinder, then we are gonna do something. And what we can do is we can add points to our actor now. And let's change this to points scored. Compile and save. Let me just quickly see how much time I have left. Okay, around 40 minutes. That's fine. Okay, and on event begin play, I'm gonna also store the variable to my player, get player character, and cast to first person character. If cast is successful, let's print hello. I'm just gonna test if I'm casting correctly. Hello, 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 hello. It's fine, it's good. Okay. So I'm gonna store the reference to my character as variable. First person character ref. Let's make some space in our blueprint graphs. Okay, so if the actor that hit our cylinder component is first person projectile, then let's get our first person character reference and do something. Add some points here. Points scored. Okay, so get points scored and set points scored. Okay, so I'm gonna get the current number of points. I'm gonna add that to with reward points. Actually, I'm gonna add reward points on top of points scored. So let's add plus and reward points. Let's do some math like this by adding numbers together, and the number of points scored, which is going to be the current number of points that we have, plus the reward points from this particular target or any instance of that, is gonna make our new points scored variable, just like this. Okay, so that's when we hit the target, but we still are not destroying our target. Once this is done, I'm gonna destroy the whole actor, not just the component, but the whole actor. And in order to make things visible and so that we can test it, let's add print string, and we can connect like this. So whenever I hit the target, it's gonna print string new points. 40, 140, 160, 260, 340. This is all working just fine. And I don't like that it is bouncing. Yep, I'm gonna change that. Let's go back to our target, and we have to change collision on our cylinder, and I can actually get rid of this. No, I'm gonna leave it for now actually, because I'm gonna use it a little bit later. So I need to change collision preset on my cylinder. Block all dynamic. I'm gonna set this to overlap all dynamic. Compile, save. But now I can't use onComponent hit because hit is not going to be registered, most certainly. Let me just check. Oh, actually, yeah, it's registered. Maybe I did something wrong. But anyway, let's go back and fix that, or fix anything that we have. And cylinder is gonna be, let's change the collision. Overlap all. Let's try with that. Nope. I'm actually gonna disable collision on that. Collision preset, let's actually see. Spectator, overlap, ignore only pawn, overlap all, no collision. Let's try with no collision. Play, and it's going through, which is fine, but I still need some way to register the overlap, and I can change the overlap of my actor. Collision, nope. I'm actually gonna just use this little hack. I'm gonna use, no, I'm not gonna use box collision, but sphere collision, maybe. Let's see which one is the best to use. Yeah, let me use box collision. It's gonna be fine. Box collision. And let me just make it so that it fits. Or actually, let me try to fix this. No, I'm not gonna use this hack. Let's be persistent. And let's go to cylinder. And let's go to our projectile. Here, sphere, let's change this to collision preset. That's weird. Collision component. Okay, so this has custom collision. Collision preset. Let's change this to block all. Yeah, block all. Let's test it now. Block all, I think it should do it. Let's go back to our target and change the collision preset for our cylinder to overlap all, and add event on component begin overlap. So I'm just changing from on component hit to on component begin overlap, like this. Let's test this. Okay, it's working fine. Okay, but first person projectile is going straight, and I want to destroy that as well once it hits the target. So on component begin overlap, we are destroying our target, but we are also going to destroy the projectile itself as well. So this one is going to destroy target, but this one is going to destroy the projectile. And in order to avoid bugs or crashes, I'm going to flip the order of these two nodes. Why? Because what might happen is this target, when destroyed, it's going to be set to awaiting to be destroyed, to be deleted. And then what might happen is it might just cut off like this, and it will never destroy the projectile. So always make sure to think about the sequence and the order of executions that is going to happen in your graphs or code or whatever. But let's add comment to this: destroy the projectile, destroy this target. Okay, compile, save, and now let's test. And as you can see, it's immediately disappearing, but our numbers, our points are getting added. That's nice. And now I want to fix this little thing. Let me just check how am I doing with time. 28 minutes or so. What I want to change is, I want to change so that, as you can see, as I'm dragging this around, it's constantly changing the difficulty level, and I want to change that to make it more constant. And let's go back to construction script, and I need to change this random integer in range from stream. This is gonna be 1, this is gonna be fine. So using stream, and let's promote this to variable. So using stream in this case, it's gonna keep things more predictable, to put it that way. And as you can see, I'm moving the target around, but it's staying the same difficulty, which is fine in my case. I'm happy with that. And now what we have left is we need to implement user interface. And then with the time left, I'm also gonna implement so that these targets disappear randomly based on their difficulty. And yes, that, and then hopefully if enough time is left, I'm gonna make them so that they get spawned randomly on our map. Okay, so first thing, let's make the widget for our user interface. Let's save this. Right click, user interface, widget blueprint. Let's name it WBP HUD, which stands for heads up display. Let's make something quick, and I'm gonna use border. Or no, actually I'm gonna, yeah, border would be fine. I'm gonna use border, and I'm gonna use some text on top of that. Let's change the color. Let's change the color of border to be something like, I don't know what color. Something like this would be nice. And let's set it to size to content. And actually, let's add horizontal box. Horizontal box over here. And this is gonna be points. like that. And I'm gonna duplicate points, and I'm gonna set this to basically anything. 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now we have some very basic UI. Actually, let's make it a little bit nicer. Anchor top left position 50 and 50. Size doesn't matter because it's getting auto-sized by its content, which is this horizontal box. And I know that I'm going very quickly through these things, but well, that's thanks to time limit that I set on myself by myself. And now we have created heads-up display, but we are not displaying it anywhere. And let's go back to our first-person character, and let's use our event begin play node, and we can get rid of this because we are not using VR headset. So event begin play, create widget, and let's set that to HUD, and let's promote this to variable just in case, HUD ref, just in case if we want to do something with that, and HUD ref, and this is gonna be added to viewport, so I need add to viewport node, and let's check how things look now. And as you can see in the upper left corner, let me move it a little bit so that you can see it better. Border, let me move that to 100, 100. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. And let's make this text bigger, so let's put it to something like 48 in order to make it big and beautiful. Yeah, I think it's better. 0.000. But I'm earning points, but numbers are not changing, and we need to add some logic to our HUD. But first, let's go back to our BP target and get rid of this print string. We don't need that anymore. Like that. And now let's go back to our HUD, and this variable is gonna be, actually it's not variable, but this text is gonna be set as no, I don't have to set it as variable. Actually, I can just bind it and create binding. And how am I gonna create binding? This is the function that's gonna be binding the value. And let's go back to event graph, and on event construct, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the reference to my first person character, because that's exactly where we are storing the number of rewarded points in our game. And then we'll be able to access that variable and read the value of that and change the text in our heads-up display, which is gonna display how many points that we have. Let's do just that. Okay, so get player, get character. Why I can't get character? Weird. Oh, actually, I can do it in other way. Maybe no, sorry. Get character, get player character. Sorry, there it is. I was probably typing something incorrectly. Get player character, cast to first person character. So casting means basically like checking, okay, this actor that you're getting, this actor reference, is this of this type? Is it of this class, basically, to put it in simple term? And if it is, I'm gonna set this to variable. So first person character ref bold capital letters. And I can use that over here, and I'm gonna get the reference, get points scored, and I'm gonna get this, actually convert that to text, make it a bit smaller and nicer, compile, save, and yeah, let's test things out. Okay, we have 0 points. That's good. Okay, because we do have 0 points. 20, 120, 160, 240, 160, 300, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's see how we are doing with the time. Almost 20 minutes. Okay, let's try to make our game as interesting as possible. Let's add something that if you want to quit the game, you can just do that. Let me add over here. So right click, Q key, like that. And once I press Q key, I'm gonna quit game. And we could do something interesting, like let's do it like this. If you have enough points, then you can quit game. If you don't have enough points, no, you can't quit the game, you gotta continue. And let's add branch, and let's add some print strings, and quit game if it's true, connect like this. Basically, I just came up with this idea. I think it would be fun to have something like extra logic. And let's compare this to greater or equal. So let's set this to points threshold, and let's set to, I don't know, 1000. Yeah, let's set to 1000. And if you have 1000 points, then you would be able to quit the game. If you don't, the message is going to be printed, which is going to say, sorry, but you can't quit the game unless you have scored at least 1000 points. And let's not make it so sudden. Let's print string. Congratulations congratulations on collecting more than 1000 points. You are now quitting the game. And it's gonna be delayed by a few seconds. Yeah, let's set it to something like 3 seconds. And let me just test this. I'm just gonna make the threshold down to 100. And you can see I can't quit the game. Let's try to score 100 points. And I still can't quit the game. But you're now quitting the game. And there you go. 2 seconds after, or was it? Yeah, 3 seconds after, it's gonna quit the game. That's that. Let's see how we are doing with the time. 16 minutes. And I think that building of this game, the building process, the packaging process is gonna take around 10 minutes. And I'm probably gonna cut that part. But let's try and see what we can do for the remaining 16 minutes or so. Now let's work on the target randomization to make them random even more. So once they are spawned, where's my target? Okay, here it is. Event begin play. So based on difficulty, like I said before, based on its difficulty, I want to make it so that easier targets are longer lived and harder targets are short lived. And I might need some math to solve this, but or I could hard code it and determine the reward points. And let's see, I'm gonna move this over here. No, actually, let's do it like this, like that. Determine, okay. And now I'm gonna pull up this node, reroute node, and I'm gonna use, I can either use timeline function timer, say timer by function, that's fine as well. Or I can even use timer event, set timer by event. And I could also use delay, maybe. That's the most hacky, but it's, as you can see, it's latent action. So you gotta be careful with these from time to time. They might trick you from time to time, but I could use set timer by event. And let me connect this. And I gotta create custom event destroy target and destroy actor. So once this timer has completed its counting down process, then it's gonna fire this event, which is basically called destroy target. Simple as that. Or maybe I should call this destroy this target. Doesn't matter. And it's gonna destroy this actor. And I need to do calculation based on this, based on target difficulty. And let me do it. I can do it in multiple ways. I can do some math so that it gets automatically calculated for me, or I could do select. And let's do select. So I'm gonna show you this way. This is very manual way, but I will try to optimize that a bit later. So let's do it quickly in a hacky way. So if target difficulty is 1, option, I gotta add another one. So if target difficulty is 1, then I'm gonna leave the target for 5 seconds. No, that's too low. 10 seconds. This one is gonna be 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds for the most difficult one. And save and test. And as you can see, red ones have disappeared. They first disappeared. This one is gonna disappear now. And now these ones. Okay, we got that working. So now I'm gonna go back and make it so that targets get spawned randomly. Let's just check how am I doing with time. I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, let me make target spawner. I need more space. So I'm gonna make it BP target spawner. And I'm gonna place it inside the world. Okay, just like that. And let me jump in, and I'm gonna add box collision. I think that would be fine. And event graph. So event timer, custom event, spawn a target. And I have to create spawn actor from class, which is gonna be BP target. BP target, and I'm gonna move some things. Construction script, determine target difficulty. I might have to move this to event graph just to be sure. So I'm gonna disconnect this, connect like this and like that. Compile, save. And I'm not getting them inside the viewport now, but doesn't matter as long as I'm, oops, sorry. BP spawner. So target, it needs transform, compile, save, spawn, so it's all right. But I'm gonna get rid of these targets in the viewport. And I'm gonna use my spawner and make it intelligent so that I can define the area from where I want to spawn targets. Okay, so I need to use this get random, oops, sorry, get bound, get random point in bounding box, and location or origin is gonna be get actor location, and get extent, get box extent. This should be fine. Or no, actually I'm gonna get location, I'm gonna get world location of this, yeah, of this bounding box, and just like that. And let me define it first. So here's my spawner, and I need to click on box. Let me just first put it down to around here, and let me scale it like this, and scale it up 2020. That's not enough, and I'm gonna get rid of no, actually I'm not gonna get rid of those. I might need them to use to make some logic. And I can click on my spawner. I need to make this extend. No, actually I've changed the wrong one. So this one is gonna be, this component is gonna be 20 and 01. That's too small. 40, nope, maybe 50. Yeah, 50 is closer, maybe 60. Now let's put it to 55. 55. I guess that's square. I can go into different view, top view mode, and align that properly. So spawner is gonna be 0 and 0. And box, nope, it's not aligned properly. Something like this. Yeah, this is gonna be the playable area. Let me go back into normal mode. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let me just check how am I doing with time. 3.5 minutes, I gotta hurry up. And target spawner is gonna spawn my target. This is gonna be looping, and this is gonna be the interval between it's gonna spawn another target. Let's make it 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds it's gonna spawn new target. Okay, let's play. Where's my target? Is it spawning anything? Let me check. Print string. Spawn. It's probably spawning in the wrong place. And let me make it much faster. Oh, it's not spawning. Let's make it every single second. Oops, spawning. But locations are weird, and I know why, because I'm not using get scaled box extent. That should fix it. Let's check it out now. Okay, my targets are there, but it is always, it's always pink. Let's change that, and now I can get rid of stream and use this one now. Compile, save. Okay, I'm running out of time. I gotta hurry up. Spawner, I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. Save all. Test just one more time. Target destroyed. 20 points. I didn't manage to get the first one. Destroyed. Where are my targets? 200. Where are my targets? Come on. Wow, green targets. 260. 360. 400. 440. Okay, and I'm running out of time, and I'm only gonna add just one more thing. Once I reach 100 points, sorry, 1000 points. No, actually, let's make it, the threshold is gonna be 1, but every time I change the points scored, I'm gonna check if the point scored is greater. Okay, I know, sorry, I'm out of time. So I'm gonna just check if greater or equal to 1000 points. What I'm gonna do then is basically say congratulations, you have completed the game, and print string congratulations, you have earned 1000 points and have successfully, hopefully I'm spelling this right. I don't have the time to check my spelling. And have successfully completed this game. And then after delay of 2 seconds, it's gonna quit game. And let's go back to our character. You have, let's change this to so that you can't quit the game before you earn. Let's set to 200 points and 200 points, and points threshold is gonna be 200. So my time is up. I'm gonna test the game for the last time. No. You congratulations, you have earned. Oh no, that's wrong. Sorry. Target BP target. If this is oh sorry, I made it. Nope, it has to go like this and like this. Yeah, now it's proper. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build the game and then test it. All right, let's first save all and go to platforms, Windows, package project, go back one level. Nope, sorry. Inside this folder, I'm gonna create a new one, which is gonna be called build. Select folder and wait around 10 minutes for the game to finish packaging or building, and then we'd be able to test our game that I've made in 1 hour and a few more minutes, but hopefully everything is gonna work just fine, and then we'll be able to conclude this video. And as it is packaging right now, I'm gonna talk a little bit more. And I really like this series. Whoa, it's already done, packaging complete. Let's go and show in Explorer and go back one level, build, Windows. Let's test the game. So this is our game, hello, and I can destroy, and I can try to quit, but I can't since I have only 180 points. Now I'd be able to quit, but I won't. I will not quit unless I have 1000 points. I'm going around trying to... Oh, red one. I missed the red one. 620. I need about 300 now. A blue one. That's good one. Another red one. I'm close. 900. And I want to find a red one. Oh, I missed the red one. Red one. Nope, missed. I want to finish the game with destroying red one. Red one. Boom, that's it. Congratulations. And it's gonna quit the game. Please quit the game. Why it's not quitting my game? Oh, now it's quit. Maybe I've set the timer to be too long. Let me just check. Who knows? Who knows what I did wrong? And that's it for this video, in which I try to show you how to make a video game using Unreal Engine 5 this time, under 1 hour. Although, to be fair, it took me a few more minutes than 1 hour. But anyway, I like this kind of videos and this kind of practices, because they are forcing me to think quickly and think on the fly, try to come up with creative and very efficient solutions, and be creative with the development process. And I would recommend to you to do something like this, like I did. Try to make a game, make some system or some different type of application in Unreal Engine 5. And definitely make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out the description of this video. You might find interesting links and info over there. Also make sure to check out pinned comments, read the blog, or just go to valsogard.com to visit for more. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you have learned something and you have enjoyed this video. And until next video, see you soon. Take care. Bye guys.